Hello, dear friends. Let me make sure that we are live. Okay. So, hello to everyone. This is an exclusive edition. This would be something which I called Spiritual Support Marathon, obviously related to the current situation and the challenges we are facing in this intense period, which we are in the middle of. So hello to everyone. Just we are gonna wait a little so that people would be able to join us. I know there's a little delay. And let me know where are you from and what's the situation in your area, and of course, how do you feel? And very quickly about today's meeting. This would be day number 1 of something which I called Spiritual Support Marathon. My idea is to make this daily for the following week at least. We'll see how things are moving around, but I really hope that I would be able to make those daily sessions with you at the same time. It's 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern. And if for any reason I have to reschedule or cancel, I will post this on my YouTube channel. So obviously things are quite specific, quite intense. And today we are going to talk about some astrology. We are going to use the EFT practice or tapping, which is a very gentle way to help us navigate challenging emotions. And there might be many different emotions. There might be fear, there might be anger, there might be worry. So whatever those emotions are, we are going to work with them, and we are going to talk about ways to overcome this and also do this as a group meditation to support all of us. Okay, so we have someone from Bangkok, Thailand. I have a friend in Thailand, but she's in another city, and she said that you guys have also cases in Bangkok. Okay, so for everyone watching us live, and of course, those who are watching later the recording, just follow the session, follow the practice and everything we talk about. It's also very, very powerful. Okay, so where do we start? First of all, I will be completely honest with you, and this is something that I have no experience with, and none of us actually has an experience with that, because at least for our generation, for humanity right now, this is happening for the first time. And obviously, when something happens for the first time, it's very big, it's global, and also there is a big message for all of us. And one thing which I also want to be very conscious about is that I don't want things to sound judgmental. So I don't want to spread the idea that, you know, we are doing things completely wrong and this is like a punishment or whatever. I would like to look at this as a sign that it is time for a change. It's time for a big change for humanity overall, And obviously it means that also for the individuals that applies as well. Okay, so for those who have just joined us, let us know where are you from and how are you? What's going on in your area? I'm in Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria, the capital, Sofia. And here things got quite intense during the past couple of days. We closed like everything except for pharmacies and markets where you can buy food. Everything else, restaurants, public places, concerts, everything is canceled. People are quite scared, I would say. And my personal opinion is that the major problem with this situation is the panic, the fear that's spreading everywhere. That's the main problem. There are some statistics about, how dangerous is this virus. So from what I'm hearing, it's not that scary. But even if we are not scared, even if we are not afraid, it's everywhere around us. So sooner or later, we are kind of picking up of this energy. My personal perspective is that personally, I'm not scared of the virus. And by the way, what I'm going to share in this webinar and the other series, this is just my opinion. You should not consider this as a personal advice, and you should follow the instructions of your doctor. I just want to make this very clear. I'm just sharing my understanding. So personally, I'm not freaking out using different things for disinfection or something like that. I'm washing my hands, but I normally do that. And honestly, I was not afraid. Even now, I may say I'm not afraid, but I'm just kind of starting to feel the energy around, and it's making me feel worried. And my personal worries are, why are other people feeling so terrified? And it's more like a sadness and feeling sorry for the overall situation. I'm also imagining how all of that will impact generally sensitive people, people who have anxiety, or, there are more sensitive people who are more predisposed to fears. And so many people have contacted me, and that's my main concern. I feel deep sadness and worry about people, about the future, about the economy, because obviously this will play a major role, not just for our health, but overall for our future. And something else which I want to share with you is that there will be also one webinar about this on the 28th of March, about the astrology, about the perspective of German new medicine, and also different spiritual tools. So if anyone would like to join us, the links should be below the video. Let me see. Yeah, you should be able to find links below the video. And also, the other thing which I can do for you guys is that I'm offering emergency readings at no additional cost. So normally that's twice the regular price, and I understand that many people need more support right now. So if I can be of service of you, you can definitely contact me for that. And don't forget, this spiritual support marathon will be completely free. And I hope you will join us, because the more people join, the more powerful this can be. Okay, just quickly going through the comments. South USA, schools are closed. Yeah, exactly. Just the same here. Colorado shutting down. Hello, hello to everyone. Yeah, it is very big. It's like a huge event. It's not an event, actually. It's a process. It's something more serious. It's a deep process. And whenever we have infections, even when we talk about epidemia, or like in this case, it's global, it's pandemia, this has to do with Neptune. Neptune is the planet which can bring infections and all kinds of, including viral infections, of course. And I would like us to look deeper into the meaning. What's the message here? So what happens is that we have to separate, you know, like different measures, as far as I understand, in different areas of the world, things are closing, and the general advice is to stay at home and to avoid contacts with other people. So this is like, you know, boundaries. This is separation. Basically, what we need to do right now is, on certain level, separation. That's the advice. You know, stay at home, or wear masks, gloves, and so on. Don't get close to other people. And while we do that, first of all, we may have the opportunity to get closer with the people that we live together with, our kids or spouses or family members. That's number one. The other thing is to connect with ourselves, to look deeper into what's happening inside of us. Because if we think about it, how many of us have complained that we have no time, that we are so busy, that, you know, life is like moving around us, we can't catch up on it, and it's, you know, it's so overwhelming. So now it's like the opposite for many, many people. And yeah, there will be some exceptions, of course, but for most people, we have to put many things on hold. We have to stay at home, or to spend more time with ourselves, with our thoughts. So this is number maybe two. One was to connect with close people. The other thing is to connect with ourselves. And it's also very interesting that by being separated, we are also doing this together. So eventually the message is that we are in this experience together, you know. And I think that the main idea here is to, first of all, feel this connection with others. Whatever emotion you are feeling right now, I can guarantee you are not alone. You might be afraid, you might be worried or angry, or, you know, bored with seeing the same things on media. Whatever it is, there are millions of other people who share the same emotion with you at the same time. And there is a very deep message here. Through separation, through physical, literal separation, we eventually can get closer. We can see that, at least that's my understanding, that the message, the lesson here is to see that we are all connected and we have to go through this together. And eventually, Neptune is about compassion. Neptune is about sensitivity. It's about connecting emotionally, energetically with other people. First of all, with ourselves, of course, but then with others. So it's kind of, it seems like a contradiction, but I think that the main lesson for us is that through separation, eventually we can come together into, seeing a higher purpose, or having more compassion towards each other, and definitely reassessing our values. What do you value the most? And yeah, we all say, okay, health is the most important, but the truth is that until there is some kind of crisis, and sometimes this could be just like a regular flu, but until it happens, we don't really appreciate that. So another thing to reassess is how we treat ourselves and our own health. Because, if you pay attention around you, how many people are burned out nowadays, overwhelmed, stressed, especially when it comes to psychological issues, anxiety, depression, panic disorders, you name it. It's spreading, everywhere. It's everywhere. And I think that this is also kind of a great time for us to reassess what our values are, and to pay more attention to ourselves, to what we really feel, and to take better care of ourselves. And of course, eventually, to take better care of our planet. I was reading some stuff which honestly sounded quite judgmental, and I don't like criticism. I don't like judgment, and to look at things like, okay, we are being punished. This is just our way to learn new things, and this is our way to grow. But there is some truth in that maybe we are also not appreciating enough our planet, the resources we have, with all the pollution and everything. Maybe it's time also to change those perspectives. And there are different theories. One of them says that the earth, it's like an organism, and every human being is like one cell of this creature, or whatever you want to call it. And the countries might be considered, for example, as the different organs. And I like this theory, because it also shows that at the end we are all in this. We are all connected. So probably we should start thinking of the whole of other people, humanity, the earth, to appreciate what we really have, and to connect, eventually to connect. So yeah, definitely we live in some very interesting times. Mm-hmm. The truth is that fear is the main thing that's causing the situation, and especially from the German new medicine perspective. I'm not sure if you're really familiar with this. It's a very interesting field which explores the different diseases, illnesses, symptoms, and what's causing them. Because one thing is for sure, there are no coincidences. It's not random. It's not by chance whether your gallbladder will be sick, or your thyroid, or your skin. It's just not the lottery principle. There is a connection. And it's extremely interesting, because German new medicine explores what are those reasons, what's causing you the different symptoms. And it explores our brain. And nowadays, the modern society is so connected to the neocortex. This is the frontal part of the brain, which is related to the conscious thinking process. And we kind of think that it's all there is, but it's not. There is a huge part of the brain that we are not conscious about. And part of it is very archaic. It's very ancient. And I'm pretty sure you have heard this before, that our brain is designed to make us survive, not to make us happy. You know, if you think about like many years ago, like thousands of years ago, it was, you know, a big question whether you are going to survive, like, you know, dangerous animals and other things that you cannot control. So that has been the main priority for the brain, to be very conscious, to notice if there is any danger around us. And when there is a danger, you know, the brain is turning into another mode. And this mode is kind of putting you into fight mode. You know, there is a fight or flight or freeze mode. So it's putting you into a fight mode so that you are ready to fight with, or run, or, you know, do whatever it takes to survive, literally. And when that happens, if your archaic brain puts you into this mode, okay, it's a matter of life or death, it's so dangerous, I have to run. When that happens, there is, you know, there are different parts of the body which are activated, the muscles, the heart, you know, basically the organs that you need to run or to fight, literally. But other parts that you don't need at the current moment are shut down. And one of those things is the immune system. Because imagine if you are, you know, chased by a lion or something else which is about to possibly eat you. You don't need your immune system at that time. You just need to run as fast as you can or fight if possible. So in those, when we are in this fight mode, when we feel like something is extremely dangerous or potentially dangerous, there are certain things that shut down, and one of them is the immune system. And when all of this fear and panic is spreading around, we all feel threatened. And of course, it's not the lion that's chasing us, but for this archaic brain, it feels exactly the same. It feels as something dangerous, which can lead to death. So, you know, it's ridiculous, but the main thing that you need at that time, the immune system, it's shut down. And the more you are into this stress, the more it suppresses the immune system. And what I find scariest here is that people start to think that if, unfortunately, they have this virus, they will die. And this is, first of all, not the case at all. Maybe for one of our future sessions, I will prepare with some statistics, and probably it will be, actually, for sure, it's different for the different areas, but there are many people who survive, many people who are healthy. But the problem is that if you believe, if you're afraid that, oh my gosh, if I have this virus, I'm dying, then imagine what it will do to your immune system. It puts you into the fight mode, but fight mode, you know, relevant to like being chased by a tiger or a lion, not the one which will, you know, help your immune system. And it's like a vicious circle. You know, it suppresses the immune system, so eventually it gets worse for people who really get sick, and unfortunately eventually more will die. So the main thing that we have to manage is the fear. And I understand that it's not easy, and trust me, I'm I'm an expert on fear. I have had many, many fears through my life, including panic disorder. So I'm very familiar what fear can cause, how it feels, and all of that. At the same time, at some point of my life, I made a decision, and I think it was not like a one day, one time decision. It was more again like a process, but I decided that I won't let fear control my life, which doesn't mean that I won't be afraid anymore. Of course, it's normal. It's completely normal when it's everywhere around you. It's normal to get scared. But the question is, will you allow this to control your life? And I really hope that we won't allow this to control our lives. And as always, it really depends on how we are going to use it, how we are going to look at that. And if we see this as an experience providing opportunity to grow, things to change, to like move to another level, this can all change. But the most important is the fear. So again, I will talk more about German New Medicine, its incredible knowledge, and it can really help you to understand what the different symptoms mean and how to navigate them. So the main thing is the fear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fear, fear is a very common emotions. Many people feel this. And again, we are all in this together. So it's normal. The other thing which is very important, um, we know that Neptune in astrology is related to the collective subconsciousness. This is something that Carl Jung, the famous psychologist who was also an astrologer, by the way, he has presented this theory about the collective subconsciousness. So that's what Neptune is. This is like the invisible energy field, whatever you want to call it, that we all have access to. And it's quite complicated to understand this with our normal human earthy brains, because it includes the current situation, it includes the past, the future. It's all in there in this energy field. And one of the problems is that when so many of us are afraid, this energy field that's universal, that's affecting every human being, it's filled with this fear. And I'm noticing that, even people are sharing, that, okay, I wasn't afraid until this day, at certain point I started to feel scared and so on. So, even if it doesn't come from within you, it's normal at certain point to feel the impact, because the more people are scared around the world, the more it affects all of us. So what we can do is, first of all, be very conscious about what do you allow close to you in your own field. And I'm not talking about other people or things that you touch or those type of things. I'm talking about what kind of information you put in front of your mind, what kind of thoughts you allow, and basically what you focus on. I have noticed that social media is like very, very, it's filled with information about the situation. And yeah, there is some uplifting information, but most of it is like, okay, there we have those cases, we have those symptoms, so those medications should not be taken, and so on. And I find this like very, very negative. I'm even noticing my own reactions, obviously, during the past couple of days and even the weeks. You know, it's everywhere. So I'm checking my Facebook, and I feel like it has more and more impact on me. So I consciously took the decision that I will minimize the time I spend on social media for those purposes. So if I would highly recommend you the same. If, of course, if that's not part of your job, and in my case, it's kind of part of the things that I do to be on social media, but if it's not the case for you, then try to minimize the negatives. I see so many people who are constantly checking for news, for updates, how many cases, how many, you know, I don't see a positive impact here. So I highly recommend you to try to save yourself those negative stuff. News, television, it's all about the virus, and I'm really trying not to watch it. Generally, I'm not the person who enjoys watching the news. I don't do it. And when I do it, I feel so, I don't know what the expression would be for that, but it's like heaviness. It's like, you know, heavy, dark energy, even more fear, and it's not helpful. I want to read you something, by the way. I remembered. Just let me find it because I took a picture. Where is that? It's from a book, and unfortunately, I forgot the author, but I really thought it would be interesting. It's about vulnerability. So what does it mean to be vulnerable? And do we need to avoid that? Is it, what does it mean that it's weakness? So let me read it to you. According to the, what's that, Merriam-Webster dictionary, the word vulnerability is derived from the Latin word vulnerare, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, meaning to wound. The definition includes capable of being wounded and open to attack or damage. The same dictionary defines weakness as inability to withstand attack or wounding. Just from a linguistic perspective, it's clear that these are different concepts. And in fact, one could argue that weakness often stems from a lack of vulnerability. So I think that it's completely okay for us to feel vulnerable at this point. And yet it doesn't mean that we are weak. So if you notice fear, worry, whatever, just allow it to be. Be there for yourself, for your emotions, and don't try to kick them away, to push them. Try to heal them. And I find the EFT practice so helpful, so helpful. So observe where is the emotion in your body. For example, a couple of days ago, I was really able to feel more in my throat. It was like sadness for what's happening, for, you know, how people are reacting, for all of us. And today and maybe yesterday, it moved more into the heart area, and it was like you know, I have something like keep in my heart, and it was a different sensation. And every time it happens, I'm just tapping, and sometimes it disappears immediately. Sometimes it takes like 15-20 minutes, but I think that this is one of the best things we can do. And for those who are new to tapping, I will very quickly explain how you can use it. It's very simple. It's very powerful. Okay. Let us go also through, before we move to the tapping part, let me see, can I share my screen with you guys? I should be able to do it. Okay. So I just want to look quickly to go through the aspects during the following week, and generally to see what kind of tendencies we have, which are the major aspects. And again, let me remind you, if someone needs an emergency consultation about astrology, about energy psychology, or whatever, you can find the link below. I'm working extra hard right now to be able to serve you. So let's just also check one more thing. The calendar. So what we have during this week, tomorrow on Monday, Mercury will ingress Pisces. That's interesting, because Mercury is about to go through the same degrees where it used to be retrograde earlier during February, March. So Mercury is still in the shadow zone until the 29th, I believe, the 29th or the 30th of March. Mercury is still in the shadow zone. So more or less we are reassessing the same things, the same experiences, and we really have a lot of Pisces energy around us. Of course, we know Neptune is there, and Neptune has been there for a very long time, but we also have the Sun in Pisces. The last new moon was in Pisces, obviously. Mercury was retrograde in Pisces, and now it's moving back to Pisces, but direct. So these are the main topics: connection with other people, even during times of separation, to see that we are all in this together. Compassion. And I remember, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe in the March monthly horoscopes, I talked about that. With all this Pisces energy and Mercury retrograde and the new moon there, we really have to slow down. Of course, I had no idea that it would happen in this way, and I think no one knew that. But that's one of the main things that we should really do right now, to slow down. You know, things are closing around, things are canceled. We have to stay mostly at home. So we still have to slow down with this Mercury energy. The other thing through the week, so on Thursday is that, on the 14th, the Sun will ingress Aries. So this can change things. And in this situation, we can't expect that one single day would like bring all the change. All of that is like a deep process. And with the Sun in Aries in the following month, during the following month, things may have a new direction. more about taking certain actions or feeling more confident, more empowered. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of Neptune and the Pisces energy. I have a lot of it in my chart, so I can really feel it. It resonates with me. I love it. But the truth is that it also has some negatives, like any other thing in astrology, like signs or planets, they all have two sides. And the negative side of Neptune and the Pisces energy is that it can kind of make us feel lost, confused. It can bring lack of focus, lack of motivation, lack of clarity. And I think all of that is like everywhere around us right now. So this shift with the sun moving to Aries can bring us more of the fire energy. And the truth is that there is not much fire energy right now. So currently we only have the moon today on Sunday, but actually from tomorrow, so from Monday, all of the planets will be in the earth and water signs. Wow, that's like a very specific combination. Only earth and water signs in the beginning of the week. It's a complicated one. It can be like too much sensitivity or feeling kind of stuck. The earth energy, we are going to have like 7 planets in earth signs from tomorrow, from Monday, and this can feel quite rigid, like really we are stuck. And in some way we really are, but again it really depends on how we are going to use this. Okay, so no air. Also, when there is no air, there is no lightness. So everything may seem too heavy, like, you know, fatalistic, and yeah, it's kind of normal as well. And no fire, there is no enthusiasm, there is less creativity, there is less focus or direction. And with that being said, I think that with the ingression of the sun in Aries happening on Thursday, on the 19th, this may really help things to get kind of more dynamic, or maybe for us to feel more confident, or maybe even to find the way to do something and to be active in the middle of this stagnation or of this, you know, stuckness or whatever you want to call it. Okay, what else do we have? A big one is also the ingression of Saturn in Aquarius on Saturday. And actually, that is the biggest event during the following week, one of the biggest ones during the whole year, actually. Saturn changing signs, we know that's quite rare. And Saturn defines the rules. Saturn defines the principles. And Aquarius, it's the sign of social groups, communities. So with Saturn ingressing Aquarius, I think that in the future, not necessarily, of course, during this particular week, but overall the tendencies for the future are changes, social changes, ideals, what we focus on as social group, humanity, basically. So Saturn can really bring different focus, different concepts that we can value, and you know, so much social restrictions and changes. Okay, what else do we have? On Friday, we have Mars and Jupiter joining together in Capricorn. which normally is a very dynamic aspect, which can bring growth, desire to do something, to expand, to take action, more ambition, more confidence. And again, the focus is on structures. Even this may affect us, like socially, new type of projects, new type of focus that more, it could be like on a country level or even on a global level. So this is a nice one, Mars with Jupiter. This is definitely a nice one. On Thursday, also, the Sun has a positive aspect with Saturn. On Sunday, Mercury, positive one with Uranus, and Venus with Neptune. So overall, the aspects of the week are quite positive. Quite positive. The moon would be in Capricorn, Monday, part of it, Tuesday, all of it, and Wednesday, also part of it. So it's not like the most joyful position, but it's more about following on certain principles, certain rules, redefining, working harder. Capricorn is also the sign related to distance, boundaries. So this is a huge theme right now for all of us. And, with all of those Capricorn planets, we have Pluto, we have Saturn, Jupiter, right now Mars as well. So yeah, let's look here actually. So currently 4 planets in Capricorn. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the moon is there as well. So 5 planets plus the South Node, all in Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of boundaries. So on certain level, we also have to work with this theme, healthy boundaries on different levels, not just the health physical level, but different levels, healthy boundaries. But one thing I also want to mention, Capricorn and Pisces, those 2 signs naturally are connected with the sextile, which is a positive aspect, which means that Capricorn and Pisces as signs, their energy, their philosophy, what they are related to, this can work together or they can be friends. So it seems like it's so different, but at the end, we can find a way to use it in a healthy way. The healthy boundaries, rules, principles, distance, structure, and at the same time, the universal connection, the empathy, compassion, connection with other human beings. All right, so let me stop the share. So do you guys have any comments, any questions, any shares about this? Okay. So what I want to suggest we do right now is a short EFT practice. A short EFT practice, which basically everyone can follow right now with us. You may use it as an example of how to use it for yourself during the day. So what I do, as I told you, because I'm also going through this, I'm also a human, so obviously it affects me at a certain time. But the major decision that I told you I've made is I won't let fear control my life. So I'm doing everything I can to be in alignment with my heart, to balance my emotions. Okay, so with just a few words about those who are new to tapping and EFT, this is an energy psychology method which uses tapping on certain acupuncture points. Those are points which are used in the Chinese medicine. They are part of our meridians, the energy highways in the body. And by tapping those points, basically we are calming the nervous system. So this system that puts you into flight or fight mode or freeze mode, we are trying to calm it down. And while we are tapping on those points, and I will guide you through them. So while we do that, we are focusing on different things. First, what we want to let go of, the negative sensations, negative emotions, where is it in the body, how it feels. And we go through that. You can talk, you can, like repeat what I say. You may do it even mentally. Sometimes I'm just, tapping and I'm going through this mentally. So you don't always have to verbalize it. Usually, if you can do it. And then we can re-imprint a more positive picture. So, for example, we want to feel peaceful, we want to feel calm or safe or relaxed or whatever. So you can do it anytime, anywhere, no side effects. You cannot overdo it, so don't worry. Very gentle tapping. You don't have to use force. It works perfectly with a very gentle tapping. These are points which are used, in acupuncture, acupressure. So, it's a very popular method. So the points are, first of all, quickly, we make a statement and we use the side of the hand 3 times. And then we begin with the top of the head, here, right above the eyebrow, then here on the side of the eye, under the nose, on the chin, under the mouth. Then this is probably the most specific one, under the collarbone. You may use more fingers here to make sure that you're really doing it. Then under the arm for the ladies, it's where the bra is. And then around the fingers, around the nails here. So it's easier to do it, like on the 2 sides of the nail. Technically, they are just on one side, but they are different. So just do this on the 2 sides of the nails. And then back to the top of the head. You can do, any side. You can do both if you want to. You can switch, no problem with that. If you haven't tried it, there is your chance to do it. There is no harm. Okay, so think about, how do you feel right now? What's the general negative emotion you are experiencing? It could be fear, worry, whatever. Just name it. And it's also interesting to evaluate how strong is the emotion. From 0 to 10. 0, I don't feel it at all. 10, that's the maximum possible. So how strong is this emotion? My example from earlier today, I felt this tension in my heart area, and it felt like a worry. It was not a fear. It was not fear. It was worry. and it was 8 on the scale. So try to assess, okay, doubt, absolutely, it could be doubt, it could be uncertainty, it could be feeling anxious or angry with people, or why are others freaking out, what's wrong with them, so whatever. Okay. All right. And try to feel, where is this in the body? Can you feel this in certain part of the body? So mine was in the heart area. It could be in the throat, it could be in the stomach. So where is this located? Where is this emotion as sensation within the body? Sometimes you may not be able to define it. That's okay too. But if possible, try to connect and to define, where is that? So mine was this worry that I felt within my heart. So now we can move, we can begin the actual part. Even though I feel this worry in my heart, I choose to love and accept myself. You can repeat my words, you can add your own, whatever works. Even though I have this worry in my heart, I choose to love and accept myself. Don't forget to uncross your legs and to breathe deeply. Even though I'm worried about the global situation, and I feel this in my heart, I choose to love and accept myself. And now through the points. Now you can go with whatever comes to your mind. You can repeat the same phrase all over if that works for you. There is no wrong way of doing that. So I can just repeat this worry in my heart, this worry in my heart, this worry in my heart. Those negative emotions that I'm experiencing right now. This fear around me. This worry. If you want to, you can add things in the chat so I can use them also in the group practice. So if there is something, a phrase that you want us to add, please do that. I will read them. This fear around us. I'm so worried. I'm afraid. I worry about the future. What's going to happen? It seems like it's unreal. Sometimes I just can't believe what's happening. Why are people so afraid? Is it really that dangerous? I feel so vulnerable. Maybe I'm scared. Maybe I have some doubts. I feel so uncertain. I feel sad for all the other people. I have deep compassion for all the other people. I'm so sorry for their fears. All of that is so sad. This worry in my heart. This worry in my heart. Now we can move to the positive round. You can do as many as you want, from the positive or the negative. It works every way that you feel like doing it. So now let's try to re-imprint a different picture, and that's very important, because for the negative part, probably we have some differences. You know, for example, I feel worried. Maybe someone shared they feel doubt. Another person said they might be angry, whatever. So the negative side might be kind of different for all of us, but the positive outcome is the same for all of us. So the positive is, we want us to be healthy, we want us to be safe, to be connected, things to work normally. So let's try to visualize a universal picture together, and just to imagine it as a connection to this universal field, this energy field. So just, we are going back to the tapping. Imagine yourself feeling calm, feeling safe, comfortable, loved. And let's choose one imaginary place, like, which will be one for all of us, like we are energetically meeting there, so to speak. So let's imagine this as an open area in the nature. There is a beautiful grass there. The sun is shining. Everyone is safe there. So imagine yourself on this location, somewhere in the mountains. It's beautiful. It's so calming. It's so warm and nice. There are beautiful trees which are helping us to be grounded. The sky is open with all the beautiful opportunities that it brings. So imagine yourself there, very safe, very calm, perfectly healthy. You have everything you need there, physically, emotionally, on every level. And you can imagine even that you are bringing the people you love, the people you know there with you. So it gets full with people who are there, happy, close to each other, feeling safe. We have only positive energy there, only positive emotions. And this is a place where everyone is welcome with their good intentions, with their positive energy. So imagine, like, all of us who are doing this live, all of the people doing it later, we are all there. And we are all safe. We are all calm. We can invite other people there. And they can bring only their positive energy. And you may add everything else that you need in this picture. Bring your dog, bring your favorite food or your favorite clothes, whatever you want, you can bring there. As long as it's positive, you can bring it there. You can bring any color you want to. Let's bring, for example, a yellow color to the picture. This beautiful picture is colored in yellow, the color of the sun. It's shining there, it's healing, it's bringing us light and wisdom. It's supporting us. So make this picture look even brighter, even more positive. Visualize it. Feel it. And then imagine like this picture is connecting, it's coming through the top of your head. And the positive energy is going to each cell of your body. Through the head, through the face, the throat. It's gently spreading in the chest, the heart, the stomach area, the arms. Also moving through the hips, your legs, the feet. This picture and the positive energy it brings gets to each cell of your body, bringing this healing energy, this safety, this comfort. And then let's imagine like it gets concentrated in the heart area. So it's still moving through the whole body, but it's coming to the heart area. And from the heart, it gets out and you are able to share it as a light with other people, with the universe, with this universal energy field. So we have the beautiful picture with the positive energy. It gets from the top of the head to each cell of the body. It heals, it nurtures, it calms you down. And then from the heart, you are allowing it to connect you to the universe and the field around us. Keep feeling it. Like we are just the source, the channel of this positive energy. Allowing it to flow and then allowing it to spread to everyone else that might be afraid right now or worried or need help or support or whatever. Just we are imagining that we are healing this universal field. Okay. So whenever you're ready, you can take a deep breath or you can take your time and then gently open your eyes. This is one practice which is part of another technique. It's called matrix reimprinting, and it's very powerful, and I think that we really need this right now because this universal energy field right now is filled with mostly with fear. And by visualizing something, connecting it, feeling it with the whole body, then sharing it from the heart, first of all, you are going to attract the same thing for yourself. And second of all, we are helping this universal field. So it is quite amazing. Okay, guys, so are there any questions you might want to ask me? I want to remind you again that we are going to have another session tomorrow. It won't be that long. I know it's a weekday, but we can come back together and do another group session. Hopefully we can do one each day during the week, but we'll see about that. And again, I'm reminding if you want to join the other webinar, which will be all about the German new medicine, the personal astrology indications, and other things about spiritual tools. You can find the links, and also for emergency reading, you can contact me. Okay, so I'm sending you love, light, and positive energy wherever you are in the world. We are all in this together. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.